Sometimes I get really overwhelmed or just full of anxiety or depression. And sometimes it's really hard to cope with that. Because sometimes people don't understand what it is that I'm going through or dealing with. And it makes it hard to explain. There are times where I'm so upset I can't even talk. And I just want to curl up and disappear. And it gets really hard sometimes. I know it's not the end of the world. I know there's nothing really wrong. I know it'll eventually pass. But being in the moment when it's happening is hard. Because you feel like you're going to be like this forever. You know you won't, but part of you feels like you will be. And it gets hard. Especially when everyone wants to help, but you don't know how to help you, and it becomes stressful because they're trying to talk to you, trying to interact with you and make you laugh and smile, and all it's doing is making the situation worse because all you want to do is get your emotions out. But sometimes that's hard. Sometimes your emotions won't come out. And sometimes people trying to be a support for you makes things worse. Especially if they don't understand why you're upset, and they're trying to rationalize your problems when your problems are irrational. What I do for comfort is I like to have water running and have a blanket or a towel over me as I sit on the floor, and I just kind of let my emotions out, if they come out at all. Sometimes I feel like I need to cry, but I can't, no matter how much I try. Sometimes I just can't. And it makes it really frustrating. And all you want to do is cry and get it over with so you can go back to being normal for the most part. But you just can't cry, so you feel hopeless. And your anxiety just keeps building and building. Which in turn makes your depression worse. There are times where I wish I didn't exist, where I wish I was normal. You can't really change who you are. You can't really, mental health issues don't just go away. And that's something people don't seem to understand, is that mental health issues are with you for your entire life. No matter what, success story you might hear or any of that is it will be with you for your entire life. And you can never stop fighting it. Because the moment you stop fighting it, you end up like this. Depressed and full of anxiety and having panic attacks. And unable to control your own emotions. Unable to sleep properly. Feeling physically ill even though you know you're not. That's the worst part for me. Is feeling physically ill and feeling like something's wrong with me physically, medically. But there isn't. And I know there isn't. And everyone tells me that there isn't. But I still feel it. And it's frustrating. Because I just want it to go away. But it won't. And there's just no way for me to escape. So all I can do is endure it until it calms down, and then I can try and get back to my normal life. It's something people don't understand. When they ask things like, why aren't you working, or why don't you go out and socialize and have friends, and they don't realize that I can't do that kind of stuff. I can't drive because it's too overwhelming. I just end up feeling like there's always something wrong with me, even though I know I'm fine. Because everyone tells me that I'm fine. But I don't feel fine. I don't feel okay. There's nothing wrong with feeling the way that I feel. And I know a lot of people feel the same way, because they go through the same thing. But it's really hard. I know I say that a lot, but I'm sure a lot of people will say, life is hard, life isn't fair, and I agree, because it isn't. Life isn't fair. Life is hard. But when you're in that moment of just being at rock bottom and you feel like you want to die, it's hard to be the person that everyone thinks that you are. Everyone always says that I'm strong and that, I'm emotionally tough, but I'm not. They're just walls that I put up to try and protect myself from being hurt. But honestly, all it does is make me hurt myself, metaphorically speaking. I'm not strong like people say that I am. I'm weak. I have issues. I have problems. Problems that make it hard to live a normal life like everyone else. Problems that make it hard to even just function. But in the end, I know it will go away at some point for a short time, and I'll get to go back to my normal life for a month or two before it starts up all over again.